Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, what the world is listening to.
It's time to turn back the clock and jump into 1999 for the Attitude Era Season 2.
What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, The Hot Commodity, joined by my own Hot Commodity. As we cover the Attitude Era, we are almost coming to the end of 1999 and the end of Season 2. But that is okay because we will be coming back with Season 3 covering all of 2000 in WWE. But we still have a couple more.
Y2J is upon us.
Y2J is upon us. Yes, we have a couple more weeks to go. So a lot of hot stuff is happening in WWE at this point. So let's jump into it. We're covering WWE Raw Is War from November 22nd, 1999, live in Buffalo, New York. And we start off Raw with Mankind and Al Snow taking on the Hollies. Hardcore Hollies on the microphone before the match. He calls Al Snow a complete idiot and blames him for Walmart pulling his toy off shelves. Holly says, what is Christmas without a hardcore Holly doll? You can go mutilate people, but when you affect sales of my merchandise, I can't forgive you. So Mankind fights Crash Holly on the ramp. Al Snow tosses Hardcore into the crowd. Crash actually gets the win, though, by rolling up Al Snow, so the Hollies get the victory here. Afterwards, Mankind hits the Hollies with a steel chair. So, not a good day for Al Snow here on SmackDown, getting called out for mutilating people. What did you think of this?
I think it's a travesty. Al Snow cutting people's heads off. Walmart. It's just a big mess.
I think it is like kind of crazy that they really did like pull it off the shelves and like really make a big deal about it, you know? But Hardcore Holly's promo was funny though. He's like, you can do whatever you want. And then he's like, what's Christmas without a Hardcore Holly doll? There's a lot of Christmases without a Hardcore Holly.
It was probably like the lowest selling doll anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. But I do like
I bet it's worth a lot of money though now.
Oh yeah, 100%. But Mankind, I like him using the chair. And what do you like? Do you like his partnership with Al Snow right now, or do you think it's boring?
It's okay. It's kind of like boring because it can't really lead anywhere. But you know, I guess it served its purpose for a little while.
We'll see. The next shot we see is DX in a limo. They're trash talking Vince McMahon. Triple H makes a comment saying, if Stephanie gets in my face, I'll make her look like Tess, because Tess again has the broken nose because of Mr. Ass. But DX is taunting Vince more and more. We then cut to Tess and Shane McMahon. They find Vince in a car with a bat. Vince is yelling at them, I want to be left alone. I'm looking for some fresh air. So obviously something's going to go down with Vince. He didn't look too happy here in his car. You said he looked drunk, right?
Yeah.
He didn't look too good here. But
They look fucked up.
he's pissed. He's upset. I mean, he wants to get his hands on Triple H. So next we have Sexual Chocolate Mark Henry versus Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle comes out and tells everyone to cheer for me, not Mark Henry, because Henry came in 18th place. If you followed my 3 eyes, intelligence, what is it? Integrity,
intelligence, and intensity, intelligence, integrity.
Then you would have placed first and not last. Kurt Angle lands a flying crossbody, a clothesline, and then Angle hits a modified belly to belly to defeat Sexual Chocolate here. And a surprising win. I mean, I didn't think he would be able to pull it off against Mark. What do you think?
Well, he's an Olympic hero.
I know, but Mark Henry also is a huge
the
dude,
world.
and yeah, I mean, at the time he wasn't, but you know, still a good victory here for Kurt Angle. And again, this is his couple of weeks into his debut here in WWE. We see Vince McMahon in his car, and at this point, we know what he's about to do. We see DX's limo. Vince runs his car right into the limo. He yells, "Let's play the game." He hits the limo with a bat, and obviously DX are not inside the limo, so his plan didn't work. But what do you think of this assault? Vince McMahon running over DX's limo here.
It is definitely intense. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. sometimes it's just like, is it too far? Like, how is it supposed to be believable that these people can get like smashed up in a limo and then fight the next day?
Well, they weren't in the limo.
Right, but we've seen like other things,
Yeah.
where like the Big Show throws ambulances off cliffs and all this other shit. But it was that was part of the Attitude Era. It was fun.
Next up we have the Godfather with the hose versus Chris Jericho. Godfather lands a hoe train, and then the hose attack Chris Jericho on the floor. Jericho is able to evade the attack and hit Godfather with a lion salt to get the victory here. Chris Jericho still is trash talking China. China has that injury on her thumb because Jericho smashed it with a hammer.
And China's still the Intercontinental Champion.
Yes, she is. Vince McMahon has a bat and he's at DX's room, but police show up and they arrest Vince. Triple H attacks Vince while he's handcuffed, and then DX mock Vince as he gets in the cop car. What do you think about Vince getting arrested here?
He deserves it.
Really?
Yeah.
You really think so? Why?
Well, he's trying to kill DX.
Well, I mean, DX, has done a lot of shitty things, and
but
they try to kill them. They put a smoke bomb in his room. They push people down the stairs.
Trying to kill anybody. You commit assault with a vehicle. That's a little different.
Vince is going to serve some hard time. Next up, we have the Dudley Boys versus Edge and Christian. Bubba Dudley accidentally clotheslines Devon. Edge spears Bubba, and then they land a superplex to Devon, and Edge and Christian get the win here. I'm a big fan of both of these teams, but Edge and Christian continue to do really good in the tag team division here. What do you think?
Yeah, I like Edge and Christian. I think that Edge and Christian wouldn't have been what they were without the Hardys. So like it all came together at a good time.
And we'll see more of them as we go on with the Attitude Era. Next up, Mankind's talking to Al Snow backstage. The Rock walks by. Mankind tells The Rock he likes his shirt. Rock then tells Mankind he never threw out his book.
Who was it that pointed it out to him?
Al Snow found it in the trash.
Was it Al Snow?
It was Al.
Okay.
So then Rock makes a comment about the book, and then Al says Rock should be hooked on phonics, and then The Rock trash talks Al Snow. So Mankind and Rock seem to be in good terms right now because he said he didn't toss it in the trash, the book.
Right.
Vince is brought into the booking room and he starts to get booked. Stephanie McMahon has her bridal shower. The Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young give her leather items like a whip and sexual things to do with tests in the bedroom, I guess. And Linda's all looking surprised and shocked, and just a silly segment here. I like seeing this because Linda just looks so dumb. We saw her at the Republican National Conventions and seeing her acting like a mom, all oh no, you can't have that out. It's so
her and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Next up, we have Jeff Hardy with Terry and Matt Hardy taking on X-Pac. And this was a decent match. Jeff Hardy lands a Hurricane Rana, a springboard senton to get a 2. X-Pac lands a spinning heel kick. And then Terry distracts the referee. Matt Hardy hits a neck breaker to X-Pac. Jeff hits a swanton. But then Road Dogg comes out, pulls Jeff Hardy out of the ring. Mr. Ass launches Jeff Hardy into an X Factor. And X-Pac gets the win after DX attacked the Hardy Boys. What do you think? DX continues to just take out everybody on the roster.
They're DX. That's what they do. They run Monday night.
Do you like this version? I mean, obviously it's the same in '98, but do you like this version better than?
No, I like the older version better. And they don't have China.
Yeah, I agree with you. Without China, it's kind of different. Vince McMahon gets fingerprinted. We then see Linda at the bachelorette party telling Stephanie that she gave her a trip to Las Vegas for her bachelorette party. Mae Young falls into the cake, and then Mae then falls onto Stephanie, and Stephanie laughs, and it's a good time for the girls. But what's important is that Stephanie is going to Vegas for her bachelorette party.
Well, we'll see. I have a feeling something's going to happen.
Well, we'll see. Next up, WWF champion The Big Show taking on Kane and Tori. It's the Big Show. Tori stands on the ramp. Kane attacks Big Show to start. He lands a big boot. Big Show hits a power slam. Kane lands a flying clothesline. Viscera follows Tori around the ring. Kane attacks Viscera on the floor, allowing Big Show to get the count-out victory after Big Show slams Viscera.
What do you help but have a bad feeling about Tori?
Yeah,
always look like she has evil on her mind. Every time I see her down there, I don't trust her.
You think something's gonna happen? Yeah, I agree. There's something up with Tori, man. But Viscera though, he has the hots for her, you know. So it's gonna be a show, I guess. I don't know what's gonna happen. Speaking of a show, Triple H comes out. Triple H says, "You have no idea how big an asshole I can be. It is evident to me who is responsible for Stone Cold Steve Austin getting hit with a car. That looks like Vince McMahon attempting vehicular homicide for a second time in a couple of weeks. Vince McMahon, if you're sitting in jail wondering who pressed charges, it was me. DX stands for law and order in the WWF. It was my civic duty to put that man away. I never might receive my answer for Armageddon. Tonight, while your cellmate is whispering sweet nothings in your ear." And before they continue, Shane McMahon comes out. Shane says, "Triple H, you don't cross the boss. Vince called me to send you a message. He cannot wait to rip you limb from limb at Armageddon, and he accepts your challenge. Tonight, you will take on the Acolytes in a handicap match. Have a wonderful time." And then Triple H says, "You talk tough, but typical, you talk from far away. Come in the ring." So Shane starts to walk, but the rest of DX forms on the ramp, and they all attack Shane until Test, Pat Patterson, Gerald Briscoe, the Hardy Boyz, and the Acolytes all beat up on DX. So they get somewhat of revenge on DX here, but Triple H will fight Vince McMahon at Armageddon. What do you think?
Well, it's like, I don't know. Like, the matches are always good, but like, it's kind of dumb to think about like Vince McMahon taking out Triple H. I mean, but like I said, every time Vince or Shane step in the ring, it's always a good match. But I think that's more on the wrestler. Like, they couldn't do it without them. But you know, it'll be amusing, and I think everybody wants to see Triple H. Well, not at this point, but I'd like to see Triple H beat up Vince. So.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll see what happens. We do have our next match: Val Venis and the European champion, the British Bulldog, taking on Too Cool. During the match, Bulldog has the pin, but Val Venis walks out on Bulldog, so the Bulldog gets confused and doesn't make the pinfall. Mean Street Posse come out and attack Too Cool until Rikishi makes his debut, and he makes a save for Too Cool. So I'm glad that Rikishi finally showed up. I was a big Rikishi fan back in the day, so I'm glad that now he'll be a part of Too Cool.
Yeah.
Vince is seeing.
Was he around before this back?
He was like the Sultan, and then he was gone until this. So he came back as.
How long has it been since he was full?
Like 98.
Okay, yeah, it's been like a year.
Yeah. Vince is put in his cell. Next up, Test takes on WWF Tag Team Champion the Road Dogg with Shane McMahon as guest referee. Test hits a gut wrench power bomb, a twisting neck breaker. Road Dogg punches Shane, but Test ends up landing a pump handle slam, which is Road Dogg's finishing move to defeat the Road Dogg here. Your man didn't look good tonight.
I know. Poor Road Dogg.
Yep. Next up, Hardcore Champion, the Big Boss Man, and Prince Albert come out to take on The Rock. And The Rock looks to be facing this match alone. They just destroy The Rock. They land a Big Boss Man, lands a pile driver. But then Mankind comes out and he teams up with The Rock. Mankind ends up putting Mr. Socko on Prince Albert. Rock hits a rock bottom and a people's elbow to Prince Albert. And The Rock and Sock Connection are back, and they get the victory over Albert and Bossman. What do you think?
Well, The Rock doesn't look too pleased after the match. So I don't know if they're back together. But yeah, I think the Mankind is like a Rock's ass. And, I kind of figured he was going to come help him. But that's how they are. So
We'll see.
we'll see.
Next up, we have our main event, the no DQ handicap match, the Acolytes versus Triple H. And the Acolytes destroy Triple H throughout the match. They land a double power bomb. Bradshaw accidentally clotheslines Farouk. Triple H hits Bradshaw with a steel chair. Triple H walks up the ramp, but then Vince McMahon shows up behind Triple H with a steel chair and hits him in the back with a chair. And then Vince tosses Triple H off the stage to the concrete floor, man. Vince fucked him up. What do you think?
Well, maybe this is just a preview of what we're gonna see on Armageddon.
Yeah, I mean, Vince, he got out of jail pretty quick.
He sure did. They were fingerprinting him by the
He was in a cell. Yeah, he was back. So what do you think is going to happen on SmackDown? It's a Thanksgiving themed episode, so
I have a feeling we might see a food fight or something like that.
Okay.
So
Ooh, that's good. So we'll see. I feel like if someone took a drink every time you said "we'll see," they'll get a little slosh. We'll see. There we go. All right. Well, that was it for Raw Is War. We'll be coming back with SmackDown. A couple more episodes to go till we reach Armageddon. Make sure you check us out on YouTube, subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell to stay notified for new content. Check us out on Spotify as well, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.